Just getting most of the stuff ready tonight. That'll taste good. How's it going, mate?
Suspension's a bit worse wear.
It's good for it. Back to the normal size swag. On. Jeez, it's heavy for a size. Here, have a look at these.
Eco-friendly.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time since we've actually dropped a bait or a jig in the water, and we're getting a bit frustrated and saw a bit of a glimpse of hopeful weather, so we're going to take a chance and head out.
Is this your first time doing a selfie bit?
Yep, first time ever. Aim to head out deep to begin with, come across some really nice ground with some really good, you know, dewy soundings. We drop double header, or double banger, me, you both hook up. Hopefully this time the jig outdoes the placo. But
Hey, what are you going to be running?
I'm going to run the Paddletail.
Yeah, the jig.
Paddletail jig. So
The old
we're going back to the.
So let's run through that old method that we used to use.
Yeah, I suppose it was birthed when you had a couple of engineers on a boat to really try to get some fish to bite. We could see good fish on the ground, but they just weren't hitting the jigs as we'd like. And then we thought, what about we just give them some nice fluff, just to like really entice them and not get, you know, scared, because we weren't sure if there were queenies or whatever down there. So we decided to go mainline, mono-leader, connecting to like the Dhubite assist with a lot of frilly and glitter. And from the assist,
With no jig.
with no jig, just the assist.
So mainline, straight to assist, only assist. And then continue down from there.
Maybe another 2 meters of line, and then we would have our 300 whip and another assist on that jig. Obviously the idea to go to 300 whip was to stay nice and vertical, that extra bit of drag that top assist created. And yeah, I remember dropping down and instantly pulling tight to what I thought was a dewy, but came up to be a real nice queenie. Fought real well, and yeah, done real well with that sort of setup ever since then. I'm hoping we'll go 2 12 kilo dews to begin with, and then we'll continue heading deep. I reckon, knowing us, we're going to see some good ground midway to deep, and we're going to get carried away, and we're going to want to drop on that, and we're going to hopefully pull up some nice nannies. And then I can guarantee you that the wind's going to shift and we're like, oh damn, I wish we were out deeper by now. So then we're going to probably pull up and keep going out deeper at the wrong time. And which is good luck really, because you want things to go against you to catch actually some decent fish out deep. Every time it's never failed. When conditions are... It's true.
Your arms are that tight already.
My shoulder from the jabs.
Hello. Hello. Oh, too close. Oh, just stripping the old line off. Testing new Dhubite overhead reels tomorrow. Sorry, spin reels. Sorry, spin rods. So we just had to strip an old reel, put a new one on, and we'll give it a go tomorrow. It should be good. Same blank as the overhead rods, which is everyone that's used them has been in love with them. No one else does Toray carbon for this price. So get into them while they last, because they sell out bloody quick.
So the way I like to put some line on a reel is I just chuck a little bit of mono backing on there to give you that grip.
Yep.
So what I do is I just do the loopy sort of knot. So you have to understand which way you're going to reel up. So we're going to be putting line on this direction.
Yep.
And I put my loop this way, and it's going to be locking in. So the loop goes like this. And then as I tighten, it's going to lock itself in.
Yep. Makes sense.
And if you do it the other way, I'll show you what happens. It just keeps slipping around.
Gotcha.
You want to lock it in.
What line are we going with, mate?
So we're going New Zealand's finest.
One of the only good things to come out of the country.
100% Spectra filament, and it's probably the tightest weave you'll get. This one here is particularly special because it's a hollow braid, That way I don't have any knots to get tangled in the guides. And it's pretty much like a Dacron sort of splice, even with fly line, very similar. And you actually thread the mono through the hollow braid, and it's just a streamlined zip out. It's pretty good.
You like it, eh?
Very good.
And tomorrow, this is the setup we're going to be going with. We've got the 200 gram jig head in orange with the 10-Os. We've got the 22 centimeter, or what are they, 9-inch plastic Paddletail, and something special on the back.
Bit of a treat.
Bit of a treat for them. If you needed to, you can put a bit of bait on there. Don't think we'll need to tomorrow. All right, so run me through your setup.
The overhead combo that I've got here, I've got the Doodlebug, which is...
This is the new Dhubite overhead rod.
This is the, yep, the Doodlebug here.
Beautiful. Oh, she's already flashing in the humidity. Beautiful.
Yeah. And then
what knot are we going?
The full lock blood.
I don't know if you've done that one right, mate.
The uglier they look, the stronger they are. The prettier they are, you lose it straight away.
Well, I'm not sure how that theory works, but okay. It's true, is it?
So, running 130 pound here. Up here we've got the Paddletail setup.
Some nicer knots there. Yep. Not many people realise that your terminal knots need to have a double loop. If you like the blood knot, you need the double loop at the bottom, and don't lock it. It's actually stronger if you test them on a winch with scales like I have. So that's what we meant with the paternoster.
And yeah, so tomorrow we'll be doing this. Look how well balanced it is.
I get given grief when I put them on the piss, and that's much worse.
See who catches the most. South Coast beef.
Wrong way.
Fuck, you did both sides. No. Really ruined the footage, eh?
Yes.
Can't you see what's really going on?
You awake? So last night, just before we went to bed, I had the old South Coast special where the forecast just did a 180. I couldn't sleep last night, eh? I feel like I didn't even sleep at all. I made the mistake of starting to think about the day playing out.
Yeah, I did that about.
And then I started thinking about catching the fish, and then I started thinking about how windy it was going to be, and I kept wanting to check the wind, update. I broke the zip on my sleeping bag. It was supposed to be 8 knots to 5 knots for most of the day. And then you look at the actual live winds from last night from the closest area, and it's actually been 25 knots all night when it was supposed to be 10, and it's just dropped to 20, so it's going to be an ugly morning.
3 bags. Yep. Someone didn't sleep well last night.
Of life, living in sunshine. Stay with me. We can't let this go, you see. I'm up in arms. Can't you see what's really going on? Can't you see that I am cool and cold?
So we're out. Conditions aren't as bad as they looked on that live wind, which was a little bit far away from where we are. We're a little bit protected right now, but it's looking a lot better than what it was supposed to be. So we're going to punch out, try and quickly get a dewy in about 60 metres, and then we'll keep going out deep and try and get some good stuff, some half-three-car, some massively bloody beautiful. Good to go.
Manjumup's finest. It's a great drop, and made better with a
Special treat. Good old trusty old redback. Alright, we're at our first spot. It's disgusting out here, but this first echo that we've gone over looks pretty damn nice. I'll show you to you on the footage. Basically, we've got a gradual drop off, and there's some good looking echoes on it. There could be a school of dewies. If they're not, there's something that's quite big, but they're pretty hard to bottom. So we'll see once we get over it and start fishing. If they start moving around a lot on the sounder, then they're probably some big sweet. South Coast has a lot of big sweep, and if they sort of stay at the bottom and move a little bit but not much, then we could be in with some dewies.
Wow, it is rough. It's gonna be hard to get the first one right, hey? With the boat in reverse and the right tack. Is my light flashing? Wow, we're in reverse and we're drifting. Just not liking where my line is. Do you want to just Oh, God! Whoa! Yep. Yep. Wow, you should have seen the take, man. That is going to be epic footage. No! Yep. Spat the hooks. Wow, that was a massive take. Reminded me of the Kingy to begin with.
So Pete had a massive take on the first drop and got smoked, had his drag too tight. Yeah, because remember how fast we're drifting. So you've got to counter for that loss in line already, you know. We'll give it one more drift and then we might try something else. Oh, yep! Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Come up. Stop, Phil. Take it out because it might roll.
I'll hold.
Alright. Probably can't hear me with the wind, but drifted over a new edge. And we're onto a pretty good fish. It's nothing massive, but it does feel like a dewy.
Oh, yes.
This is when you got to be careful not to pull hooks. Just let it run, don't thumb it. You can feel the tail hitting the line, which just adds that extra tension. It is pretty shitty, lumpy ground, so I don't want it to pull too much.
Do you want me to reverse it for you?
No. So now I'll turn his head. Oh no, I won't. Oh, this is the dangerous part.
Get him out.
Now you just keep the head turned, always keep complete tension.
And the pump and line.
When you're putting the tip down, you cannot release any tension.
Oh.
Like that. So as he's trying to turn his head, I'm not allowing it. It's very hard to pull hooks when their head is pointing up. You normally pull them when they're pointing down. So as long as I can keep his head turned, I can actually apply a fair bit of drag. You just got to be extra wary, especially in conditions like this, that as the boat dips down the swells, you will lose tension. And that's when you need to make sure that
Rod tips
really
doing the work.
You're really on that tension as it dips down. And that's where a flexible rod comes in handy.
Wow. It's like the fish is just going through all these caves and rubbing the whole line through everything.
Nah, it's the tail. It's on such an angle.
Yeah, okay. He's still.
So now, do you see him on the sounder at all?
Meg. I think he's just too far outside the cone.
So now that I'm Just doing that constant, his head's up and he's just sort of floating up now. As you can see, I'm gaining a lot more line. Just got to back the drag off.
And you're not actually pumping and winding, eh?
Not pumping and winding because it's too easy to lose tension. So I've just backed the drag off there, right? So I don't really care if he goes for a run now, he's too far off the bottom, he's not going to rip me. But you are a chance of pulling hooks. So you always back the drag off when you're sort of that 10 metres up. Now it's just a constant reel. And let the drags, set your drag to the right amount. And just reel in as the boat dips down the swells. And you'll see that line come back on your reel. I'd like it to stop fighting sides, Dewey.
Queenie?
It's still going pretty hard. Unfortunately. And it's not going out the boat.
Big Deweys do fight hard. Do you want me to go neutral for you?
That's why sailing distance can cross. It's coming up a bit easy now. If it stops fighting now.
It's got some weight to it, hey?
Yeah, but you know those queens, they feel a lot bigger than they are.
It took a plucky though. Very uncharacteristic of a queenie.
Come on, don't do a last run because then it's probably a Dewey. Coming up now. Go over the boat.
Whoa, what is it?
It's looking white. Well, I was kind of looking long. I think I see a fork in the tail. I think it's a sambo.
Sambo. Yep.
Motherfucker.
That was what the school was. That is big. Come
And look, he's taking the assist.
go against the sun.
Jeez, it's bloody heavy.
Stay there.
So I've just found a better looking patch with some, they don't look like big Deweys, but they look like Deweys. So as I've said to you guys before, with the Simrad it's pretty easy going. You drive over what you think looks good on one of your sounders. And for this one, you know, I had this area, there's quite a few areas of interest. And as you're doing that, it'll pop up when you mark them on your other GPS unit. So for me, that's linked by a NMEA 2000. And you can see the little the points of interest that I've marked around the place. And then the one that I liked the most is what you drift through. And you set up your drift, you drift through that one.
Ooh. Got some bites. Probably on the top hook. That's a hit. Hit. Yep. Dewey? Yeah, I reckon so. Oh, this is good.
Your size?
Yeah, size. Not a monster, you know. But I don't even know what I'll do if I caught a monster anymore. I'm like, this is like my capability limit at the moment mentally. Any bigger, I'll be like, I don't know what to do. Just forgotten. All right. Okay. That one there is a great example of bait on the top hook and no bait on the bottom one. No bait. No bait.
So, good example here. He's just got a dewy. Ow! No bait on the bottom with the doodlebug and George.
And with the Paddletail, you'd see a bit of Sambo there. It's connected, but classic dewies, very aggressive, and
Like the jigs.
yeah. Just feel like we're on a good thing, and I don't want to entice different laws of physics. I need to be able to remain. We need to keep doing what we're doing. Want one? I'm not minding the teeth right now. Never a fan of them, but it's like having cleaning, like brushing your teeth sort of thing. It gives you that good feeling.